Hey everybody, it's Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we've got a great continuation in our series of micro 9mm testing of the HK CC9. It's a shorter barrel, and we're going to be taking a look at the 68 grain Extreme Defender from Underwood. Should be a good time. Let's get shooting. Okay, so if you've been watching the channel, we've been doing a series, I don't know, there's maybe video 6, 7, 8, somewhere around in that range, where we've been testing self-defense ammunition out of the HK CC9. The HK CC9 has a 3.3 inch barrel, a little bit longer than the standard SIG, a little bit shorter than the XL version, and that's going to be around in your Canic and your Springfield and your Shields and Pluses and all of those similar type barrel lengths is what we're going to be testing out. So the question is what are the good self-defense ammunition rounds? So far to date, we found that a lot of them are pretty good. And so we're going to be moving on to one of these external hollow points. As you can see here, it has a screw tip. It's their platinum. It's coated with something, I don't know. It's just, maybe another excuse to charge something more, but in theory, it should feed just a little bit more reliability. I've not had reliability issues with these in my 9mm handguns, but I have had them with 380 ACP. So we're going to do our traditional ballistic testing. I've got a setup that I like to follow in a regime that we've been doing for all of these videos, where I do one setup with our clear ballistic gel with nothing on it, and another setup where we do a contraption around it where we've got 2 layers of denim, 2 layers of t-shirt, followed by 2 inches of clear ballistic gel, and a 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard like what Gun Sam does, and then followed by a whole bunch more ballistic gel. Now that medium density fiberboard does 2 things for us. It creates quite something like a rib simulation, a barrier simulation inside there. And then also clear ballistic gel tends to over exaggerate a little bit of penetration. Adding that layer in there brings it back into alignment with what the organic gel tells us. And so then we do that first, and then we take everything off and just shoot it as if you had a bare naked attacker coming after you. Now I thought what I might do today, just for kind of kicks and giggles, is I'll do the normal test. I'll shoot 1 round into this and 1 round of clear ballistics. And then just in the clear ballistics, I thought I might do another test where I shoot one of the standard ones that everyone likes is the 124 grain plus P from Federal HST. See if we can see a difference. So does this external hollow point that's supposed to be creating a hydrodynamic effect and creating a larger wound track in there, is it, and everyone says, well, it's barrier blind, but so is bonded jacketed hollow points. But at any rate, it's supposed to be creating a bigger hole in the intended target. So we'll put that to the test. Does it create a bigger hole than what you might get with a regular jacketed hollow point? So should be a good time. Let's get shooting. Quick reminder, this is what the test setup looks like. You've probably seen this before either on Gun Sam's channel or on mine, but this is what we're going to be testing today. I forgot to mention that I am at a range on a Saturday, which means it's in pretty heavy use. It's near impossible for me to shoot a video without background gunfire. What I'm going to try to do when I'm not shooting is try to isolate my voice and just blast out the background sounds. But what that means is that sometimes my voice comes in and out of volume. My apologies for that. This is the day that I had to get out to shoot it. It's about an hour trip up here, hour trip back. It takes me a couple hours to get these tests done, a couple hours more for each video that I edit. I can kind of just do what I can do, guys. All right, well, with that said, let's get to shooting. Okay, we have that 68 grain Extreme Defender bullet from Lehigh Defense loaded by Underwood. Let's see how it performs into our contraption, layers of denim, layers of t-shirt, medium density fiberboard, so on and so forth. And we got 1672 for our velocity. Not bad out of this little short barrel. Let's go down, see, hopefully I hit it in the right spot in the target. All right, well, we got great performance out of that. We have a very nice 3-dimensional cut into that gelatin. Now, I recently was doing a similar test with 380 ACP. We didn't get this type of look. We got a very one-dimensional type pattern. Well, I don't know. Some of that might have been tumbling in there. We'll have to see. I think, in fact, when it first came out of the gel, and we'll have to confirm it when we look through the slow motion camera, but it looks like that right there is a first tumble and maybe had start doing some other things in there. Yeah, I don't know. But we got out to about, sure I get it lined up with the gel, got out to about 15.5 inches. I don't think we had any bounce back on this one. So did very, very nicely in there. Again, taking a look at, we got a very traditional size hole in the target. By the way, this is 380 ACP. This was what that external hollow point did. This is the Liberty spike ammunition. Just pointing that out. All you naysayers about 380 ACP out there giving me a hard time. I'm just kidding. It's all in good fun. But let's take another couple of looks at this gel and see if we get any more clues of what's happening in there. When you look at it from this angle, it does look pretty three-dimensional. Take a look at just the different ways that we can look at this. This is probably the clearest, the one that was available for the camera. It looks one-dimensional right there, and then it kind of turns into more of a three-dimensional spiral out here. So I think we might have, when it hits that, what I've noticed is these external hollow points, when they hit some kind of barrier like the medium density fiberboard, they start to tumble. And I think that generally speaking, ends up with as not a good a performance for you. So, all right, we're going to rotate the block, and we will shoot our jacketed hollow point for a comparison. Okay, well, now we have the Federal HST 124 grain plus P, law enforcement, premium, whatever. It's got all these labels on it. Let me start the slow motion camera, and hopefully we get a good shot into it. $11.81. Let's go down and see. Okay, well, that's actually pretty nice in there. Again, it's always been doing a pretty solid performance for us. So came in through our medium density, our 4 layers of t-shirt and denim. Did a nice job getting through our lower first couple inches of ballistic gel. Nothing really much to see there. Hit kind of on the bottom, but it was a solid hit, right? It didn't hit out. Maybe some of that peeled off on the outside. And this was our first shot, and this is the second shot. So we're getting good expansion at the first point. And then if you look at it, it's got three-dimensional spirals all the way through it. And I point that out because yes, yawing and tumbling is good, but it's only doing one-dimensional damage. Well, two-dimensional damage. Let me try and see if I can't get some better views of this. That's that nice just fluting that's in there. And that other stuff in there isn't bad. But let me try and pull these bullets out here before we get too much more. Again, HST got almost 18 inches, 17 inches. I didn't measure it. And look here, it did have some clothing kind of stuck into it, but we still got very nice expansion even with that short round. Yeah, there's t-shirt and denim and all sorts of stuff, but it still did what it should. Very nice expansion. That's creating a hole that big as it goes through there, versus the other one, if that hydrostatic, I don't think that's it, hydrodynamic effect that they claim is happening with the fluting, it's, unless it gets that, it's not going to be wider than 0.355, which is what the diameter of the bullet is. So yeah, let's shoot just into the ballistic gel next, just so we get a good comparison of that. And again, someone's going to point out, I just tested plus P versus standard. That's absolutely right. Maybe this would perform better. Well, I'll save that for another test in a plus P, get a little bit more velocity on it. Maybe it does more of that hydrostatic test, but we want to test standard pressure and plus P and all those things. All right, so here we go. Let's shoot the next one into just the gel. Next, we have the 68 grain Platinum Edition standard pressure, and we'll shoot it just into the bare naked gel. We'll see what we get. Ooh, went a little lower than I wanted. 1690. Well, we'll get to see them right next to each other. It's hard to see, but obviously the one with the clearer wound track came in right above our Federal HST, and it did nice three-dimensional spiraling, as one might expect. I think they got just a little bit better velocity. This time we got out just a little bit deeper as well with that bullet. It got out into our next gel block, which technically gets you to 17, 18 inches, something like that, but it's really, I just dropped it. It's really also takes a little bit more energy to get out of the one gel block, escape out, and escape into the surface area of the next one. So that's actually pretty good penetration. But what I have been seeing pretty consistently is when you have any kind of barrier, these bullets start to tumble, and that was consistent here. I don't know, I could take a couple of different looks at it. Yeah, the two right there, they're right next to each other. You can see the differences. It does look like the HST is just a little bit bigger, maybe. Okay, well, next up, we got 5 shots. We got our Garmin Zero C1 here. It's like a radar type chronograph system. We'll see what kind of velocities we're able to get with a little bit larger sample size right at the muzzle. For our session summary, we had a min of 1648, an average of 1684, max of 1715, which is close. Well, at least the average 1684, just 20 below the what the box is recommending in this little bit shorter barrel. Standard deviation 24, average kinetic energy of 428. That's not bad, energy foot-pounds. Next up, we're going to do what I call the accuracy test. It's really just me standing at 7 yards, shooting into a target freehand. We learned several things from that. What's happening when the bullets go through paper? Is it tumbling? We get more rounds into the gun for reliability. And then we see is how well can I shoot it? Is there any problems that might become obvious? We don't see often a lot of problems, but sometimes we find reliability issues. So we'll do that. 7 yards is what I did. And then now I already did it, and I forgot to turn this main camera on, but I did capture it with this, so we'll cut to that footage now. Three were really good. 2 were really bad. All right, well, now let's go downrange, see what we did, and we'll see those 2 flyers, which were annoying. All right, these are 5 shots. I actually have 2 shots right in there in the bullseye. I was really excited about that. I think it was like the second and third shot, or the first and third shot. I did 1, 2, 3, I think 4 and 5 or something like that. But yeah, that's annoying. That is definitely not this. That was me just not shooting very well. This doing good. I've not had any problems with these rounds in 9mm. They seem to run pretty reliably in the guns that I have, and this HK CC9 seems to perform reliably. Let's wrap things up. Aside from me forgetting to turn my camera on at various times, I think we had a good time. Again, apologies for the volume going up and down, and hopefully I'm able to edit out the background gunfire. But that's what those weird sounds are with my voice going in and out. I thought we learned some pretty good things. I think in 9mm, I'm fairly impressed with the Extreme Defenders. I think it compared pretty favorably in the gel to what I consider one of the gold standards, which is the Federal HST. I thought, I couldn't tell. I thought for sure maybe that sucker tumbled after it hit I think that's, something. And there are some reasons other than what I brought up here today that you may want to carry it. It's a 68 grain projectile versus 124 grain projectile. We all have issues with the saggy pants when we're carrying. And so reducing the load of what we're carrying every little bit adds up. And so this may be a reason that you want to carry these maybe in your backup mag, or maybe half your mag, or maybe this is just the round that you choose for self-defense. self-defense. That's all good and valid. I think we have a good performer here. I'm sure the Plus P would do even better. We'll do that in a future video. But I thought there were some interesting things that came out in the testing today. I thought out of the short barrel gun, we only lost 16 feet per second. That's not much. So I think that's pretty good. All right, well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get you shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Reviewing each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown. Living for freedom,